Now in all your purple belt songs, you will be playing music where your right hand plays independently or by itself for part of the music, and your left hand will play independently or by itself for part of the music. This is where it's really important you take a look at your music before you start playing and figure out what parts of my music are being played by my right hand and my left hand. Remember, we know which hand we're supposed to play depending on where the notes are and what clef they're in. For example, if you look up here, we have all of our notes here in the treble clef. In our bass clef, we only have whole rests. So that means in the first line, our right hand is playing. Let's look at the second lines. Again, the notes are all in the treble clef. Bass clef is still resting. But when we get to our third line, they switch. Right hand, or treble clef music, is now the whole rests, while in our bass clef, we have all of the different notes. And finally, in our last line, treble clef, or our right hand, is still resting. Bass clef, or left hand, is going to be playing. So if I look at this music, I'm going to be playing my right hand, my right hand, my left hand, my left hand. Now when you first try to figure out the notes in your song, remember, you have to think about, is this my treble clef notes or my bass clef notes? Because those little sayings that we have are different. If we take a look at this paper again, remember, our treble clef notes are going to be every good boy does fine, and the spaces are going to be F-A-C-E. But if my music is in the bass clef, the sayings change. Good boys do fine always, and all cows eat grass. So let's take a look at a couple of these notes. If we look at the very first note of our song, ooh, this is in treble clef. Now this isn't part of that silly little saying, but remember the story of Mr. Everybody? This is Crazy Cat, so this is going to be a C. Let's pick another random note here. This note is in the treble clef, so I need to use F-A-C-E. So because it's in the first space, this is going to be an F. Now let's pick this one. If we look over, oh, this is a bass clef note. So I'm not going to use F-A-C-E anymore. I'm going to use all cows eat grass. Let's try it. All cows eat. So this is an E. And finally, let's do this note. Here's another one that's in the space, so it's going to be all cows eat grass, all cows. So my last note of the song is going to be a C. So the biggest thing to remember in the purple belt is to look at which clef your music is in. If it's in the treble clef, that means you're using your right hand. If it's in the bass clef, that means you're going to be using your left hand.